Welcome. Today we're going to continue working on our Pong game by including scorekeeping. Alright, let's get started. Here's our Pong game so far. When we click on the flag, the ball goes to the middle and launches. When I use the the A and the Z keys, my paddle goes up and down. And when I use the up arrow and down arrow, the other paddle moves up and down. And so right now we have a game, but it doesn't keep score, and that's the next thing we want to do. Okay, so I'm going to click the stop button, and we're going to begin by drawing a goal that goes the whole length, top to bottom of one side, and that'll be the goal for the opposite team. So it's going to be a new sprite, which I'll create by painting. And I'm going to get into my vector mode and choose a rectangle tool. And I'll go for a little splash of color here. Why don't we make the gold be green? I'll choose a green rectangle. And I want it to go the whole height of my drawing palette, but not be too thick. I'm not sure if I got it long enough. Let's see if we can extend it. There we go. And it positioned it pretty well. I just want to grab that goal and put it, kind of as far to the right as I can. Let's see, I might be able to use some scripts to move it like one step to the right and see what happens. And I can keep shifting it just until it's barely on the edge of the screen. All right, wonderful. And I'm gonna put that off to the side. So with this, we're gonna associate a new variable. And we're going to call this score for player one. So I'll call it score one and say OK. And let's start out. Whoa. When the flag is clicked, we want to set score one to 0. Let's see. In the event that the flag is clicked, score one will be set to 0. And we want this to be sensing all the time. So we'll set up a control, forever if. It's going to forever see if it's touching the ball. Let's see. That will also begin here. And we'll be sensing if we're touching the ball, then a couple things are going to happen. We're going to set the score up by 1. There we go. We'll change the score by 1. We want to broadcast the event to launch. And we also want to set a direction for the ball. So I created one more variable called set the ball direction. And right before I send the bounce message, I want to set the ball direction. And if we look inside the ball, here's where you can see the direction that it's facing and change it. After experimenting with this for a second, I think I want to set it to a random number between -50 and -70. So I'm going to get my random number picker. Here it is. Oh, I want to put this into my other sprite. So let me get back to sprite 1. And we're going to set the ball direction to a random number between -50 and -70. And one more thing, I've been experimenting and I do need to pause for a second after I broadcast launch, or else it's going to get hung up on the green line. Okay, so setting the ball direction here doesn't actually change the direction that the ball is going to face. This is just setting our ball direction variable to this random number. So we need to go into the ball now. And when I receive launch, I'm going to glide to the center. And I want to actually set the direction of the ball. Let's see. So I'm going to point in direction of my variable, which is ball direction. So let me get my data, my ball direction. So it's going to point in the direction of the ball direction. And it might be nice if it gave us a little warning that it was about to launch. So how about if we also, in looks, tell it to say ready for like 1 second. All right, let's try it out. So we hit the flag to start, it says ready, it launches, it touches the green, it goes to the center, it says ready, and it launches in a new random direction. Glides to center, says ready, also the score is increasing. So I feel like I'm about ready to duplicate this sprite. I'm going to do a 2-finger tap and select duplicate, and that'll make another copy of that. And probably I should name these. This will be the score for player 2. So I'll call this, instead of sprite 2, I'll call it score 2. And this previous one can be called score 1. So when player 1 scores by hitting score 1, and player 2 can score by hitting score 2. And just to position it again, I'm going to get my motion block, and this time I'm going to move -1 step, and I'll just click on that repeatedly until it gets hidden off to the side as much as I want it to. Get rid of that. So when the flag is clicked, we're going to set score 2 to 0. When we're touching the ball, we're going to change score 2 by 1, and we're going to point in a random direction between +50 and +70, and broadcast launch and wait 1 second. So I think my game's complete, and I'm going to give it a try. So it touches that, score goes up by 1, score goes up, and it's keeping track. Very good. All right, I hope you enjoy.